back to a new vlog. So I am getting ready because I am about to get the train down to London again. I'm going from today, which is Tuesday, down till Friday. So I basically need to cover my spots. I'm not putting like proper makeup on, it's literally just spot hiding. I don't actually have a plan for London. I have like one thing, maybe two things planned, and the rest of the time that I'm there is completely up to me what I want to do. So the last time I was down, I did a lot of the shopping that I wanted to do, which is all of like, you know, Harry Potter, what was the other stuff? Waterstones, like the big Waterstones in Piccadilly. Like I did a lot of that stuff the last time. I'm going to be spending this trip on my own. I'm really upset my friend Chloe can't come. And that's really just so frustrating when these types of things happen, when basically things out of your control stop you from doing something cool. So I am meeting someone at an event, so that's cool. At least I'm going to know at least one person when I go down there. But as for the rest of it, I have not a clue. So on Wednesday night, there is the screening for The Gold with the Royal Television Society, and they are hosting it at the British Museum. I'm quite excited to go because what a cool venue for an event. But I am being brave and I am wearing a dress, and I've even packed some heels, which I'm scared. And now that I've lost quite a bit of weight, I am trying to be braver with my clothing choices. And I'll be honest, there are times where, even though I'm still big and plus size, if you get the right dress, you can still feel amazing. And that was something that I always kind of was like, no, you're plus size, you can't wear dresses, you can't do this, you can't do that. And actually, I've lightened up a little bit. And I found this dress and I did like it, but they didn't have it in my size. So I've gone for the white version. And I'm really scared because me, white, nice event, possibly with heels, I'm a bit nervous. But I'm trying to push the boat out. I'm trying to be a little bit kind of more confident with my choices. I'm literally just using the viewfinder, so if this is bad, I'll go correct it in the bathroom mirror. But I'm using the good old lasting perfection concealer from Collection, you know, blame Zoella. I'm not going to bother putting like my whole under eye bag hider. I haven't even shown you, have I? Oh Christ, that is bright on camera. But you know what, I like the freedom of going on my own, because it's just like I have to trust myself. I have to like not be brave, but like I just have to know where I'm going, plan everything myself. I like the independence of it, and it feels like if I do move there eventually, I feel like I'm preparing myself for being on my own, wandering around, getting from tube to tube, learning how to get from one part of London to the other in one piece with all my luggage. You know, I just feel like it's fun. I enjoy it, and I kind of like the pace, but I'm just a bit kind of concerned that I'm not going to enjoy that pace permanently. Like, I'm like, is it because it's like a little break, a little holiday, a little trip? Can I put up with that pace permanently? This is my YouTube channel and we haven't talked about books yet, and I feel like that is really, really wrong. And I'm taking my Kindle, obviously. Don't leave the house without it. So I picked this one up at the works, and it's called Love at First Night, and it's set in London, and it's got the most adorable little sprayed edge with like little love heart arrows, which seems really cute. And yeah, so because it's based in London and it's set at the Tower of London, it makes me want to visit the Tower of London. I haven't been. I keep saying this, I haven't been since I was a kid, and I'm just like, you know what? Maybe that's something I might do on like Thursday. And it's between Daisy Hastings and Theodore Teddy Fairfax, and it's an enemies to lovers rom-com. I think it's going to be cute. I think that's going to be a cute read. Right, I actually need to pack now. I need to be serious. I need to be a grown-up. Pack my own suitcase. So whilst I get ready, I'm watching the final episode. I've watched like a couple of the last ones, and this is the final one of series 1. And tonight I'm going to see the first episode of series 2. I'm so excited. Okay, so I am ready to go. I am wearing my white dress, Primark, sunglasses. But yeah, white dress. Can you even see the espadrilles? Espadrilles, which actually, I've had them on for over half an hour already and they're super comfy. But yeah, I've done my hair, it's all nice and curly. I'm still waiting for an Uber. There we go. I feel so self-conscious. But like in a, like an excitable way, in like a I'm going to a nice event type way. I'm not going to take my camera just because obviously I don't know if we're allowed to. I don't know if we're allowed to film and stuff. So it is now Thursday and I am getting ready to go out for the day. I've booked to go to the Tower of London and I'm going at about 3 o'clock. So let's have a quick chat about last night. It was the same kind of thing as last time. There was nobody really taking photographs or video or anything during the kind of welcome drink type thing, and then there was the screening. So the only kind of like photographs there are really are the professional ones. But it was really nice, you know, to go. I met the woman that I met last time and it was really lovely to see her again. I was brave and I did get away with my heels, and honestly they were a lot more comfortable than I thought they were going to be, and I lasted a good 3 or 4 hours in them, so I think I did quite well. But the only issue I had with the event was it was on at the same time as the Europa final, like Europa League final, which was Man U, and I am a Man U fan, but I don't like die hard watch every match, but I knew that like lots of people do. So basically as soon as the screening itself was over, only not as many people as I would have liked stayed for the kind of like hour or so afterwards to like have drinks and a chat. And one of the funniest things was a couple of the actors literally like got their drinks and like sprinted out the door to go watch the you know the second half. So I didn't get a chance to really talk to as many people as I would have liked, but you know, these things happen at events and stuff, and obviously Man U lost, so that was a bit like, came out the event and then found that out and I was like, oh well. But it was cool though, and I got to sit in the second row again which was great. So I got a perfect view of the Q&A, like slap bang in the middle. Yet again, nobody sitting right in front of me. It was great. So I had a perfect view of the interview, which I'm assuming will probably be going up on YouTube at some point. But yeah, The Gold is such a good series and I'm so glad they've just like they wrote the story in such a way that you end series 1 with a need for a second series, and it is so good. The first episode, like, I liked watching it in like a cinema type environment because like there's so many other people, you get so much feedback from other people, and there's like just that kind of almost like a bit like Gogglebox, like that kind of like convivial atmosphere of watching TV with like massive group of people. And yeah, it was just nice because like when I was laughing at something, there was lots of other people laughing at something, so I felt kind of validated. I found that bit funny. But yeah, the very first episode is so good, and they're expanding the story in a way that is really interesting. And I don't want to give it away because obviously when it comes out, it comes out. But yeah, the first episode was really good. I really enjoyed it. Hair is growing on me. It is very bright though, especially when it's got like unnatural light on it, I think. I don't know. I do like it though, but it is very bright. But yeah, I am so glad to be back in trainers, jeans and a t-shirt. Don't get me wrong, I liked my look last night, but I'll be honest, I felt very self-conscious about my chest. I'm not one for getting the girls out, and I was a bit kind of like, ugh. I constantly just felt like people are probably looking at it. But you know, I have to get over these things. Yeah, headphones. I also didn't charge my Apple Watch last night. I literally got in and just collapsed and started reading my book, and yeah, I'm going to take my Kindle with me, so I'm going to take my Kindle, but I'm also going to take my book because I started reading this morning, but I've got no bookmark, and I always travel without a bookmark. I don't know what's wrong with me. Started reading Love at First Night, and the first chapter is so different. Like, the opening to the book is so different to what I expected. She comes from a LARPing family. They are a live action roleplay family, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cute, but like in the most adorably nerdy way. So on my way over to the Tower of London, I stopped at Leadenhall Market because obviously it's in Harry Potter and I had to see this. I think I've been there before when I was younger, but I don't really remember. But it is so beautiful. but it's very busy, especially at lunchtime. So just be aware of that if you're visiting. But then I headed over to the Tower of London and saw these beautiful statues to do with the lions that used to be there. I prepaid for my ticket online, so I just kind of walked right through the queue and headed right in. And there was a tour starting almost immediately when I got there, but I was like, no, I want to do this myself. I want to walk around, see everything at my own pace, read everything at my own pace. And honestly, it was so much better. But it was really cool because I got to look at things like this, you know, like ancient graffiti that's like hundreds and hundreds of years old, like carved into the walls, like prisoners and famous people, wealthy people, even royalty that has stayed and been imprisoned there, like just carved into the wall, and they've been preserved with these like plastic plaques. And then this bit made me very sad. This is where they believe Anne Boleyn was beheaded, so that was a bit sad to see, to be honest. But the poppy memorials are just beautiful. They're all over the Tower of London, so make sure you get your pictures of them. They're really pretty. The crown jewels you're not allowed to film in at all, but it was interesting to have a look. But the best part for me was definitely the ravens, like just watching them walk around. Like they come right up to you, and you've got to be careful they don't bite you, and you've got to kind of stay about a meter away from them. But they literally just hop around, and they've got like little perches and stuff, and they like follow guests around. And there are 6 of them at the moment, and they've had a couple of babies, like I think it was last year or a couple of years ago. So they've been brought round to the exhibits, and they just kind of are free to roam around the Tower of London as they please, which is kind of cool but also kind of scary because you actually have no idea how big these birds are until they're standing right in front of you. Like, I love ravens, I love birds, but that really freaked me out a little bit when it was like at my foot, because if that thing bites me, like even there you can see how big it is. And they just like to wander around and just do their own thing, which is pretty cool. And then I just kind of went around looking at all the different exhibits and all the different parts of the towers. The Royal Beasts exhibit was my favourite one. I like to learn about like all the animals and stuff. And yeah, there was loads of really nice facts and sculptures and things to look at. And they have these really incredible barbed wire mesh sculptures all over the place that you can kind of keep an eye out for, which are pretty cool. And this exhibit answered one of my questions, like why do we have lions on the English, football thing? The answer is in the tower. It's to do with the lions that used to be kept at the tower. I didn't know that. But it's really weird because you've got the old tower and then literally all of that across the street. It's a bit weird, but very interesting to see like all the different types of architecture that's in London. That's one of the reasons why I love London so much. But yeah, it was just literally about 3 or 4 hours of just wandering around, just absorbing lots of history. But this bit, same. Honestly, this made me laugh. It's so funny. So I've been around quite a lot, and I've stopped at the Raven Cafe. I was naughty. I picked up one of the double chocolate muffins. Silly thing to do while I'm on Manjaro because I literally can't eat it. So I'm like picking at it, and I'm going to try and wrap it up in the bag as best I can to take with me. But it's so nice, isn't it? It's not a very warm day. It's about 15, 16 degrees. The only thing I've not been into is this huge tower, but when I walked past it about half an hour ago, there was loads of kids going in on a school trip, so I was like, nope. The Ravens are literally just round that corner. Yeah, I've been sat eating my sandwich, that, and reading a little bit of Love at First Night, because is there a better place to read this book than right here? So, yeah. So the Ravens, this is their home, but they are obviously allowed to come out of there. They just were in there for some reason. And it was really cool to watch them kind of run around and play. One of the wildest animal stories is the one about the polar bear that used to live there in the 1250s, and it lived on a rope and it could go fishing and hunting in the Thames, and it lived in the Tower of London all its life. Absolutely crazy. What a crazy gift to give somebody. Like, apparently it was like the King of Norway. But yeah, anyway, so after that I went down to Westminster, went down, saw Big Ben, Houses of Parliament, and just started wandering around because I found a route that was pretty much a straight line back to my hotel, but like allowed me to stay out for a good few hours and enjoy the kind of nicer weather. So I just kept walking and walking. I did miss the horse guards though, which upset me a little bit. I was too late in the day for them. They were already gone. So that's what I did, was I literally just kept walking in a straight line all the way through the parks, all the way right through until I found the mall, and got to see that and walk down it. There was lots of people around, and I got to see Buckingham Palace as well, which was interesting, and just kind of take it all in, wander through the parks, and went and grabbed myself like a little snack dinner because it was too warm. I wasn't that hungry, and I just sat and read my book in the park before I headed back to my hotel. And on my final afternoon, I decided I was going to go over to Chelsea and walk around Chelsea in bloom. And honestly, this was beautiful. However, definitely nothing like the influencer videos you see online. Those people must get up at like early hours of the morning to get those clear shots. The streets were so busy, you could barely walk, you could barely get past people, and like everybody was just in crowds, you could barely get photos of things. But there were some incredible displays from loads of different brands, and a lot of the shops as well do displays, so it was really nice to walk around, and it was lovely and warm, lovely and sunny. But yeah, very difficult to get those kind of pretty pictures, and there was just people everywhere. It was very chaotic, but like in a sort of exciting type way. But if I was there again, I would definitely be trying to get up early, first thing in the morning, and try and see all of these before there were like massive crowds of people trying to look at every display. But yeah, it was a very nice end to my day before I got on the train back to Newcastle. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.